Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully completed our team. Right now, all the team page is totally dynamic. Everything is comes from to the database, even though our this part is also dynamic, right? Great. So now in this video, I want to work for our another page like as a about page or company profile. So both of these right now I want to use the same. Like right now I want to work for the about us page. So for the about us page, if you go to our theme, in our Frontend theme, if you go to our about us page, so that will be actually like this. So there have some of the images. If you want to add that images, you can add it. But right now I don't need this. I don't need this. Only this part I want to do and visible it. And this part also I want to load it, and that will be our data. That means there is a team data which I have already created. We can able to update this data in here. That will be FAQs which I have already done it in our home page. So that will be loaded in here. I want to also update that things. Okay, that is the two of this I have already done it. So first of all, I want to load this page. Okay, here I want to load this page. That is our about us.html page. And now I want to first of all create this page in our menu. That is in our menu. I want to go there. Right now I want to simply close everything. And now if you go to that that is in our Frontend, right? That is in our home and body. Into the body I want to go to that our header. And into this header area, before I have already loaded that our home, and sorry, I have already loaded that our team. Now I want to create another new route. I copy it. And now I just name it for that our about us. Here I want to use it. That will be our name. I name it as about and us. Okay, that will be as about. So about about us. Okay, now this step up of the route I want to create. I copy it. Now I want to go to that our web.php, and in here that should be accessible for all. So that is the reason from outside of this our group middleware we have to create it. Better I copy it. And now I paste it. Now that will be another name as about us, our route name. So our route name, I want to define it as about us. And our URL, I want to make it like as a about, as a /about. In our Frontend controller, I want to create another new method as about us. Okay, this type of the method I want to do and to create. Now that is the about us method I want to create in our Frontend controller. I want to go to that our controller, and that is in our controller area. That is our Frontend controller. Here also I want to use the same logic. I want to simply load it another new view page. Now that will be the name as a about us. I want to name it as a about us. In our home, I want to create another new folder as a about, and in here I want to create another new page as a about and then underscore us. Okay, this type of one of the page I want to do and to create. And now that will be, I want to create it in our home folder. I want to go to that our resources view, and into the resources view folder, in our home folder, I want to create another new folder as a about, and into this about is I want to create another new file that will be as a about us blade.php. Okay, so that is the page I simply created. So you can also copy like from our team page, from the team page I want to actually get that our home master, because here throughout this we can get that our header, footer and CSS and JSS. Now in our about us I want to simply take it, and here I want to end this section. So that will be as a end section. Okay, make it as an end section. Great. Now if you click it as a save all, and now if you go, I want to run that PHP addition optimize. As I told you, when you change anything in our web.php, make sure you run that PHP addition optimize, running successful. And now if you go to that our page, I want to refresh it, and now if you click it into the about us, that is successfully redirected to our URL as a /about, and that is our header, CSS, JSS and footer is successfully loaded, which is really great. So in particular that area I want to load that our about us.html after that header, that is this part, and before that our footer I want to copy everything. Okay, now let's do that work. For doing this I want to go to that our backend. That means in our basic exercise file, that is in our Frontend theme, and into this Frontend theme I want to find out that is our about. You can see that is about us.html. Here I want to open it into this my Sublime text editor. Here I want to open it. Okay, so right now we don't need to load any CSS and JSS, only our which things will be needed. I want to minimize. That is a mobile, that will be not needed. Header section, that will be not needed. and after that header, that is actually one of the div. From here we have to actually take everything, like that is one of the part. I want to take it everything. Before that, our footer part. Okay, I want to minimize it. That is also another one. I want to minimize it. After that, that is also another one. I want to minimize it. And that is, you can see that is our footer. So before this footer and after that our header, I want to take everything. So that is our, after that header is ended. And now I want to copy this all the div from here. Okay, I copy it, and before that our footer, I copy everything. And now I want to use it in my project. In here, I want to paste it. Great. So now if you click as a save all, now that should be loaded our total enter page. Now click as a refresh. Now if you go, that should be loaded. You can see there is a about us is successfully display. There are some of the icon images missing. This part, that is also another part. Everything is successfully loaded. Great. So now one by one I want to update it. Like first of all, I want to update that is the image. So here I want to better take it our asset and then the Frontend. I copy it. Now I want to go particular that page. And here I want to go to that our top, and in here you can see that is one of the image is missing. I want to simply take that image as busy. I cut it and here I paste it. Now that should be loaded this image here. If you go now, if you refresh it, now that should be loaded. Our that is on the SVG that is successfully loaded. Great. And then our here they have actually multiple images. This section I don't want to use it, and there is a review, and that is actually our review section. That is also I don't want to load it in here. So I want to do, if you go here after that, that is actually one of the multiple images section, right? There is a multiple images section, and also there is a total div. If you select this div, and this div is started from here, that means our first div, and this div I want to simply remove it, and that is our review rating. This div also I don't want to visible it. If you select this div is started, div is ended. I also want to remove it. Okay, now that should be clean. Click as a save all, and now if you go, if you refresh it, now that should be gone from here. Okay, so yeah, perfect. So now that is successfully gone, and that is our mission is become updated, and that should be some of the images here. I want to use it. That will be as a Frontend image. I copy it. Now that will be here. I want to update that image, and here I want to simply cut it and then I paste it. So now that should be display image. Click as a save all, and now if you go refresh it, now that should be updated like that way. Great. So which is very lucrative. An image size that should be as a 526 and then 550, and then after that, that is also another part that is successfully loaded. And this part as our team I have already done it, right? So this team part we can also make it as a dynamic. In that case we have to do like that is actually our section. After that, that is also another section, which is fine. And then I want to find out that is our team data, and that is the row data. So here that is actually multiple team data. I only want to do take one design, common design here. If you actually notice, that is actually our common design. If you select this div is started, div is ended. Now I only want to take one, and rest of all I want to remove it. I minimize it, that is a minimize it. I want to remove everything because that should be now dynamic data, because I have already updated this part. If you select it, that is ended. Now I want to remove all. Okay, now that should be only one. Click as a save all, and here if you go refresh it, now that should be only one. Perfect. So now I want to visible this information. That will be just like that same that I have already done it in our team. If you go to our team page, and into the team page I have already get this data, same logic, I copy it, and now in our about us page area here, before that our row, I want to take it from to this team table. I get that our latest all the data. I take the things with this variable, and then here we have to run that our for each loop. I want to run that our for each is started and for each will be ended. Now after that div I want to end this for each. Okay, so now here we have to take that our team, so that will be the team as I want to use it by the name as the item, so that was a team as item. And then with this item I want to display our, that is a src that should be as a dynamic right now, which I have already done it before in our team page. From here you can also copy it, like when I copy it, and now in our about page here I want to paste it. So with this asset, that is the item, with this I want to display the image, and then with this item I want to display our field name as a name field, right? So that was a name field, I name it as a name. And with this item I want to display also our, that is a position field. Here if you go to our team page, you can see field name as a position. So now I want to also visible that position. That's all. Now this part is also totally dynamic. If you now click as a save all, and now if you go to our about us page again, refresh it, now that should be perfect. You can see that is all that our dynamic data, and this data is now comes from to this our database, and that is successfully visible. Great. And after that, that is also another part as a field, answer and below. And this part I hope you already remember. I have already created the separated another page for this. And if you go to our home page, and into this home page I have already loaded and that page by the name as a find and answer to all questions answer, right? So that is actually another part which I have already done it before. So now that is the component I simply want to load it in here. So in that case we have to go to our page, that means in our home layout, that is the page as the answer page, right? So that is the answer page I want to load it in here. So if you want to do this work, that is actually after that is a find answer all below. If you select this div is started, div is ended. I want to remove this div, and in here I want to include, okay, that will be as a include. Okay, include will be which one? Include will be our path name, and that is in our home, and then that is in our home layout, and into the home layout, that is the answer I want to load it in here. Now that should be loaded. Click as a save all, and now if you go to our about page, that is static data. Now that should be updated. If you refresh it, now yeah, you can see that is now successfully updated. And also from here I have already done this step up on the functionality. You can actually update that data from here. Great. Now that is successfully loaded. All that are questions related answer, everything is loaded. And after that, and you can see that is also the same things. That is just another page I want to include, which I have already created in our home page, and that is actually our new there is a new level page. That means our app page. I want to load it. So here same logic. I want to go back to our about page again. So into this about page, actually that is actually one of the section. If you select this, section is started, section is ended. Right now we don't need it. Here I want to include, that is our separated page I have created by the name as the apps, right? So now that will be as the apps. I want to load it. Great. And also there are some of the image. I want to use this image in our font end. So now that will be here. I want to paste it. Now as said, I want to simply cart it, and here I want to paste it. Now that's fine. If you click as a save all, and now that both of these should be work, click as a refresh. Now perfect. You can see. Then you can also change the data from to this position. You can also able to change it. That is also totally dynamic. You can change that data. Our testimonial is also dynamic. And now that will be your job here. Simply update this information. Like here, that is the informations you have to update. You can actually use the same logic that I have already done it in our home page. And for that is the connect. Remember, so for the connect here, you can update that our name, you can update the description for the different the three data. So how you can deal with it, how I have done this job, simply copy the same logic and implemented that things in here. Okay, so there is also the 1 and 2 and 3 data. So that will be your task. Make that sure you complete this part and let me know about your update. Okay, so here that will be your task. Simply complete it. But right now I want to do, that is also the same logic. You can update the core and this one from to this our backend. That means which I have already done it multiple times. The title, the description, you can also implement the same things in here. You should able to do this work. And now that is only one part as a mission and the images, and then some of the descriptions. Okay, so here only I want to update this part. So how to do this work in our next video, step by step I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here, we are successfully able to created our about page, and everything is successfully loaded. So that will be your task. As I told you, simply update this part from here, from to this page. You should update these things from here. That will be just like that things I have already done it in our home page, and that is the part. Simply copy it, same logic, apply it into this our about page here. That should be updated. Okay, and also I have already updated that our team, that is a team data, is dynamic data from to the database is coming. That is our questions is also dynamic, and this part is also dynamic, right? Only here they have the simple one of the things as our title, one of the description, and that is the image. So I will actually cover it because of all here. I will also share that things with you here. That is actually multiple as a big one of the descriptions data, and into this data area I want to use another editor. Okay, so how to actually add some of the editor into this Laravel project, and how can handle that editor related data. So that is the reasons I want to share that things with you. Let's do that work. For doing this simple job here, we don't need to insert that multiple data. We have to only get this data and we have to update it. So for doing this, I want to create another new database table. Right now, there is about page will be needed, header will be not needed. I want to go to that our terminal. Here I want to make it as a clear. Okay, that will be the CLEAR. And then I want to create another new model as a PHP artisan, and then the make, that will be the make, and then the model. And I want to create another new model like as a about, and then that will be the migrations table will be needed. I want to create both of these. Great. Now into this our about. Here if you go to that our migration process will be same. Here if you go to that migration, there is a migrations table, and in here I want to simply define 3 of this field. I copy it, and now in here there is about, I paste it. One is the title. Okay, I name it as a title. Another will be as a description, DSCRIPTI1, right? And this description I want to make it as a text type, obviously, and that should be another image, which is fine. That's all you have to do. Then we have to update that our model that should be as a protected guarded. I want to use that our model will be protected guarded, and throughout this model that will be all that our field. Now that should be as a fillable. And now that's all. Now click as a save all. I want to migrate it. That will be as a PHP artisan migrate. Click as a enter. New database table is successfully created as a about. I want to go to that our database. Now that should be another new table as a about, and into this about page I want to insert some of the demo data first. Here I put, because here I only want to update this information. I make it as a 3 of this input data. Click as a go, and now browse it. Now that is data. We have to get this data and we have to update it, right? So that's the things now we have to do. So let's doing this. I want to go to that our backend. I want to create another new menu. I want to go here. Right now we don't need it. I want to better close it, and I close it. Okay, I close this model, and now I want to front-end controller. I want to done this job. So that is the reasons here. I want to go first of all in our sidebar. That means in our admin, in our resources, but I want to minimize it. Here into the resources, that is a view, and I want to now go to that our admin folder, body, and that is our sidebar. And in here I want to name another one. I take another menu, I copy it, and here after that I paste it. That will be as a about. Okay, about page setup. Only one menu will be needed. I want to make it as a update or get about. Okay, about or about page. I make it as about, and then the page. And this about page I want to create on the new route. That will be as a get about us. Okay, now this type of one of the route I want to create. So that should be also protected, and also I want to update it as a about ID. That will be as a about ID. I want to go to that our web.php. Into this our middleware area now we have to work, because that is our admin related things. I paste it. Right now I only want to take one, and here I want to use that our front-end controller. That is a front-end controller. Right now our sidebar area, that will be the name as a get about us. I copy it, Now that will be the name as a get about. I name it as a get, and then the about us. I want to create another new method as a get and about us. Okay, so that's all we have to do. Now we have to create this method as a get about us method in our that is a Frontend controller. I want to go to that our Frontend controller, and in here I want to simply create this function that will be as a public, and then the function, and that will be as a get about us. And here what exactly we have to do. I hope you already know about this part. Here first of all we have to load this our model, and you can also get the references from to this our any type of pages. Like if you go to that our home controller, maybe here I have already done these things multiple time, or if you go to that our slider, okay, but I want to copy everything from to our slider. Here that will be actually just like that same image. I want to take it, our model that will be needed. I want to copy it from to the slider, and now in our Frontend controller I want to support it. Now we have to use our which table. We have to use that our about table. So if you want to access that our about table, we have to access it throughout this our about model. Here I want to simply support it. And now here after that, that is the method. I just simply copy it from to this our slider. Sorry, here is this remove. I want to go to that our slider, and now from here I want to actually copy this one. I copy it, and now into this our that is our Frontend controller. Here I want to paste it. So I take on the variable as a about, and now our model name that should be as a about, and then I want to find out our one ID data. That means here if you go, that is also as a one ID, right? One ID related data. I want to take it. I want to visible it in our backend. I want to create another new folder as a about, and then here I will create another new file as a get about. I have get this about find data. I take the things with this variable. Here I pass it. Now we have to create this view page. Simple process, right? Now I want to go back here, and now I want to go to that our admin, and then the backend. Here I want to now create another new folder as a about, and into this about area I want to create another new file that will be as a get about.blade.php. Okay, and this page first of all I want to copy everything that will be like as our slider. If you go to that our get slider, I want to simply take everything from here. I copy it, and now in particular that our get about page, here I want to paste it. Okay, so now everything will be same. Here I want to make it as a edit about, that will be the about, and then here I want to use it as a edit about. Okay, about, and then also that should be one of the title field. So now here if you want to access it, we have to access it throughout this our about, because I have already get a specified our A1 ID related data. Now I pass it into this page that will be with this about. I want to access that our ID, the requested ID, or field name as a title. So now with this about we have to display that value. With this about I want to display there is no link, so here we don't need this. I want to remove it, and before I have used it as a text area. Now here actually I will change it. Now that is first of all I want to check it with the about. With this about that should be displayed that our description, that will be as a about page photo, and that will be field name. Also I have used it as a image. That means everything will be just like that same, and then if that have any image, that should be display our about image in here. Perfect. And rather than our JavaScript I have already loaded, for when you select an image, that should be load this image. Now let's check this out. If you click as a save all, and now I want to run that our PHP Artisan optimize, and now that is running successful. Here if you go our backend, into the backend, now that should be another new table, that means new menu as about us. If you go to that about page, successfully get that our title, successfully get that our description, right? Here I have already inserted this data. Now that is successfully get it, which is really great. Now I have to simply update these descriptions. Before I have used it as a text area, but now here I want to use it. If you go to that our backend theme, into this backend theme that have also another page, I want to better open it. I want to first of all open that our index.html. Okay, here I want to open it. Here they have also another editor. If you go to that our form, and you can see that is actually our quills editor. So now I want to load this tab up one of the editor, and throughout this editor I will actually get this data and I will update this data. So how we can load this our Quills editor in our page from in our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here, we successfully updated that our page as a get about us page, and we successfully get all the data from to this our database, and here we successfully able to visible it. So now friend, here before update this data, I want to do in for the description that should be not that our text area. Here I want to use it in our backend theme. Every backend theme actually provided this type of one of the editor. So how can load that editor in this video? I will show you that things with a live example. For doing this, first of all, that is our QL, and that's the QL.js editor, and that is in our form QL.js editor. So if you want to use it, they have some of the specific for this editor. They have some of the CSS and JSS file. First of all, we have to support it. So let's do that work. For doing this, I want to find out our backend theme. Into the backend theme, that is actually our file name as a form, and then the quills.js.html. I want to go there page. Like that is actually as a form quills.js.html. There I want to open it into the sublink text editor. Here I want to open it, and here actually if you notice, they have some of the CSS, and also they have some of the JSS for this our quill. Here we have to support it. So we have to support these things obviously in our which place. We have to support it in our backend related everything. I have already done it in our admin, and that is in our view admin, and that is our admin master. Right, so into this admin master, I want to open, that is our first one, favicon. So here before that our database, for the data table I have already done it. So now first of all I want to paste it. Now we have to update this information. So here that means our link that will be right now in our backend. I want to better copy it, and now that will be here. I want to update it, and also I want to update it. Okay, so here make that sure you update that things perfectly. Here I want to support this our CSS for the quill. That is also another one. I cut it and I paste it. Also another one I cut it, and here I want to paste it. And also that have some of the JS file. Here if you go to that our down area, here there is also some of the JS file. There is a quills editor JS file. Here we have to take it. Simply I copy it. Okay, I copy 3 of this file. That means JS file from here. Again, I want to go to that our admin master, and our JS I have already loaded everything in here. So now before that our sweet alert, I want to use it, and here I want to paste it. Okay, so now that will be the same. We have to update that our link as a asset. So I want to update it as a 1, that is a 2, and that is a 3. Okay, here I want to update this one. That is a JS file. I simply cut it, and here I paste it. I simply cut it and paste it. I want to cut it. Okay, and then I paste it. Now that should be work, and here now I want to simply click as a save all. I want to go to that our get about page, and into this get about page, that is the our place. Here that is a description place. Here I want to change it. Right, so if you want to actually change it, if you go to that our page, that means in our HTML page, here how they are actually display this information, you can see that is one of the div, and div ID will be as a quills editor. Now that's the things we have to actually load it. Better I copy this total div. Okay, copy this div, and now I want to go back to that our project. That is a text area. We don't need it right now. I want to simply remove it, and here I want to paste it. Okay, I want to paste that our editor. First of all, I want to check it. Our editor is working or not. If you now click as a save all, and now if you go to that our page, in here I want to refresh it. You can see that is our quills editor is successfully loaded. So they have some of the demo data. We don't need this demo data. Here I want to remove it. So there is a h1 tag and everything. I want to remove it, and in particular that area I want to display, that is our data. Okay, so I want to simply display it, and that will be our about will be as a description. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, our existing description data that should be display, refresh it, that is successfully visible it in here. Okay, so that means here that is actually our, they have some of the description data. We are successfully able to display it. So how can load that descript, that means our quills editor, into this our page? I hope now that's very clear to you. And if you also want to make it as a they have some of this style as a height. If you want to make it as a 200, you can also make it as a 200. Click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, now that should be as a 200 size. Okay, that means height will be as a 200. Great. So now I want to also update this information. So let's do that work. So that will be the same logic we have to apply. Only now we have to pass that our one of the name. So in particular, there is a dev area here. We have to pass that our name. I name it as a name. And this name area here, I want to use it, our name, as that should be as per our database field name, as a description. So here I want to pass it as a name, as a description. And now that is our everything. Now I want to update this data with this ID, about ID. Now I want to create the new route that will be as an update and then about. Okay, this step upon the new route, I want to create it. I copy it. I want to go to the web.php, and in here I simply copy it and I paste it. Now that will be the name as a update and then the about. I copy it. Now that will be as a update and about. I name our URL will be update, and then that will be as a about. That will be one of the post method, and I want to make it as a update about us. Okay, so that will be as a update about us. This type of one of the new method we have to create. So this method will be just like that our slider. If you go to that our slider update, same things I want to copy it from with our slider controller, and there is a method as a update slider. I simply copy it. Okay, I copy total things from here. I copy it, and now I want to simply update it in our Frontend controller. In here I want to paste it. Okay, so now our first things we have to update that our method name. Our method name will be as a update about us. So I want to update it as update about us. That is one of the post method. Request will be needed. Here I want to make it as about ID, and that will be requested. That is the ID. I have already passed it as a hidden. So now that will be ID, and I want to access that our table, our about table. Here I name it as about, and that is our requested ID will be as a about ID. Our field name also here as the image. That means everything will be same. I want to resize it. Our resize will be which one? Here if you go as a 526 and 550. So I make it as a 526. Sorry, that will be a 526 and 550. Okay, 550. So that will be our wide height for this image. This image that should be uploaded in your slider folder. You can upload it, or rather than if you want to create another new folder, that will be totally fine. But I want to use it another new folder as about. So here into this folder area that should be uploaded. We have to also create this folder. I want to go to that our backend, in our public, in our upload folder. Here I want to create on the new folder as a about us related everything that should be stored into this our about folder. That is our about folder with the specific this dimension. And if this file is exist, that will be simply remove it. Our field name as the image, that will be unlink that image. Okay, now I want to store this data in our about. So into this about area, that will be find our which data, that will be find our about ID, which I have already get it, our requested ID. So now that will be find this requested ID. Now there is a title, description, and the image. So title will be our requested title, right? Here I have already passed it. Here if you go, that is our field name as a title. Another one, I name it as a description. So now that will be our requested title and requested description and image. And that is our all that field. Here if you go as a title, description, and image. Right, now there is a title, description, image will be our, that is the save image, which is fine. With image that will be updated as a about, updated with image successfully, return directly to the same back page, and rather than that will be updated, okay, without our image. So I make it as a paste it. Now that will be only two field. I copy it, or right now that is our ID. ID will be our about us ID. I want to update it as about us ID. That will be updated. Link will be not needed. Only our title and description. That should be display as our about updated successful notification. Perfect. Now I want to check it's successfully working or not. So I hope you already know about this part, that is our with image that should be updated, and that will be with image, else that will be our without image. Right here I simply remove that our image field. Now let's check this out. Click as a save all, and now if you go, I want to make it as a PHP addition optimize. And now if you go here, if you refresh it, like I want to refresh this page, and now here I want to make it one of the title like as a 1.1. okay, 1.1. I make it as a 2.2, and I want to also select some of the image for education purpose. I want to select this image. Now click as a save changes. Now what type of things that should be display, let's check this out. You can see it's getting one of the error, it because of all that is the integrations contain the violent column descriptions cannot be done null. That means it's not able to get that our description requested data. So here actually when you use that our quills, that is our quills editor, here actually we have to behind this we have to pass one of the input ID or the text area, you have to pass it. I show you. In that case we have to go to that our page that we see in our get about. Okay, into this get about I have used it one of the description, right? So that is actually our description, and into this description that is actually our div. In particular that area I loaded that our description, but here also into this hidden area we have to actually pass it like that way. So here I have actually passed that name into these descriptions, that will be no needed. Only now I take one of the text area, and this text area that should be not display. This text area I put one of the style, and display I make it as a none. That means that should be not display. Behind this our that is the div that should be executed, our that is the text area. I just put that name as a description. Also I pass one of the ID as a description, and now throughout this we can able to handle it. I want to check it like that format. Let's check this out. If you click as a save all again, and I want to go back. I want to go back here. I want to refresh it, and now that is no data is updated. I want to make it as a 1.1. I make it as a 2.2. First of all, without image, I want to check it. Click as a save changes. Now still now it's display as integrations constant violent column descriptions cannot be null. So it means actually it's not getting that our descriptions related data, right? That means now I want to use some of the JavaScript for this, like here that is in our get about. Okay, into this get about area, that is one of the our quills editor, right? I have already used it, and that is actually our text area. I make it as a display will be none, and that is the name I have already defined, and also that is our ID. So now throughout this ID I want to access this our text area input field. Here in that case we have to load another script, like this will be our script. So into this script area I just simply added one of the documents with the get, there is a query selector. I want to access that our form data, that will be as an on submit function, and then I take one of the variable as a descriptions, and in here I want to access that our ID that I have already assigned as a query selector, and that is our descriptions ID. And if you go, and here I have already defined one of the text area, and into this text area I defined that our ID name as a description. So now here throughout this we can able to access this data, and then I simply descriptions value I pass it in our quill root in our HTML. So that is the simple one of the JavaScript you have to add it. If you are actually dealing with the our quills, and there is a quills editor, now that's fine. I want to now check it, and now that should be get this our value data into this our text area, and now that is our quills that should be work. Let's check this out. I want to click as a save all, and now I want to go back here. I want to click as a go back. Now I want to refresh it again. You can see now that is already updated. Now better I want to use it as a 3.3. Here I want to use it as a 3. Okay, I want to use it as a 3. And now if you click it as a save changes, that is successfully updated, as updated without image successfully. Our title is updated and description is updated. And also when you use any type of editor, then actually that will be also added this type of one of the HTML tag, because when this data is actually inserted in our database, if you now go to that here, and you can see it's inserted also some of the HTML tag. So I don't want to display this type of one of the HTML tag. If you want to actually prevent it, in that case we have to simply added that things like that way. Here that will be as a double exclamator, and that will be ended with the double exclamation. So that is on the blade syntax. Here we have to add it. Now when you use it, that things like that way. Now into this descriptions value, if that have any HTML tag, that should be not display. Click as a save all, and now if you go again in our page, if you now refresh it, and yes, you can see now that is remove all that our HTML tag from to this area. Great. So now I want to update some of the appropriate data. Like here I want to use it, this type of one of the data, I copy it, and now here I want to update this information. So I want to update that this one informations. Here I want to update it. Now you can also put some of the gap in here. If you want to make it as a bold, you can actually make it as a bold. That will be totally depends on you. And now also I want to check one of the images. Like here I want to use this one. Now click as a save changes. Now all the data is successfully updated. Our title updated, description is updated, and also about page image is updated. And if you go to our database, that should be also updated. Perfect. So now in our next video, I want to visible this data in our, that is the page, in our Frontend page, in our about page area. Here I want to visible it. So how can load that our quills, which is very important. I hope you like it very much. So that is the reasons I have actually created this section. So with this quills editor, how can you use this quills editor? How can implement it in your project? How can update this data with using that quills? I hope now the concept is very clear to you. In our next video, I will implement this our backend data in our about page. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video from to this our backend, we successfully able to update this data with using that is our one of the editor as a quills editor. How to set up it? I hope now the concept is very clear to you. Now friend, in this video, that is the data is already successfully updated in our database. Now from to this about us, simply I want to get this data and I want to visible it in our about page. Let's do that work. For doing this, I want to go back to that our front end. Right now that will be not needed. I want to better close everything. Okay, I want to close it. And now from here I want to go to that our home, that is in our home, and into this home that is about, and that is our about page. Now into this about page, before here that is actually that all the data. So first of all I want to get this data. So I take one of the PHP blog, and in here I want to take one of the variable as a about. Whatever name actually choose. Now I name it as about, and that will be our model name as the app backslash the models backslash our model name. If you go to that here, right now our model name is about model. Now right now with this I want to find it. I want to find our ID data. That means one ID related data. Great. That means that is our one ID, and this one ID related all the data I want to now visible it. So here if I want to visible it now throughout this about, I want to first of all update that our image. Now that should be in here with the asset and then the about, and with this about I want to display that our image. Now I want to also update our, that is some of the title. I want to update this title here with the our blade syntax. We have to update it with the double our second bracket, and then I want to also update our descriptions. Right now I remove it and here I paste it. With this I want to display our field name as a description. I want to display as a description, DESCRIPTN. And also here when you display the descriptions, as I told you here, when I update any data with using that our editor, our quills editor, it's also inserted some of the HTML tag. Here I don't want to display it. If you want to prevent it, that will be as a double exclamation started, and that will be as ended with the double exclamation. Now any type of HTML data that should be not display. Now if you click as a save all, and now I want to check it here. If you go, I want to refresh it. Now that should be updated. Perfectly is updated, but our title is actually become changed. Here you can see I'm using the image. Now that will be as a title, right? So that is our field name as a title. Now that should be displayed as a title. Click as a save all, and now if you go refresh it, now that is really great. Okay, you can see that is our title is successfully updated, image is successfully updated, and most interactive now that is the also highlighted. it because of all here. If you go to our backend, I have already made these things as a highlighted. If you want to change something like that, I want to make some of the informations like our mission. Okay, I want to use it our mission, and mission I want to make it as a bold. You can also make it as a headline too. So now that is our headline too. That should be also updated. Click as a save all, and now if you go here, refresh it, now that should be updated like that way, which is really interactive things. Okay, so that is the reasons I have actually created this part. So that is the editor is very interactive, one of the editor. Here throughout this you can organize your text in multiple way. Okay, you can put some of the URL in here, you can make it as italic, you can use it some of the boolean type in here, and there is a different type of text you can actually update it like that way here. Okay, that is a heading, normal, heading 3, heading 2, everything actually you can set it from to this position. So now I make it as a heading will be as a 3, click as a save changes. Now that should be also updated here. If you refresh it, now that is successfully updated. Okay, so it's very interactive, one of the things we successfully done this job. And now our about page, almost everything is completed, everything is totally dynamic. How to do this work, friend? I hope the concept is very clear. So now from to the next video, I will start to work for our blog page. So here about page, you can now update the service page. Service page will be your task. So that is the service page, actually the same layout. Here if you go to our service page and into the service page, you can see that is the same layout actually, which actually I have already done it in our home page. Simply loaded this our feature part in here. That should be as a dynamic. I have already done this job in our front end. Simply loaded this one, and that will be also work. Right, I hope at that point it should be very clear to you how I handle that our about us page. So if you understand it, you can also create it that our service page. Simply complete this service page, that will be your task. And that is a portfolio and blog will be related, the same things. Now from to the next video, I will start to work for our blog page. And if you go to our template, into the template area, that is actually our blog. That means that into this area, that should be some of the blog category. And into this blog area, that should be some of the blog images, the date, and then read. That should be some of the blog title, short description. When you click it in here, that should be directed to our details page. Okay, now actually this step up on the blog and the pagination. So everything now from to the next video, step by step, I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.